comes to body image, social media has come into play along with regular mass media.
Any images that we're receiving on a daily basis can impact the way that we perceive ourselves and the way that we perceive others in the world. Social media encompasses so much that I think that in some ways it can be positive, in some ways it can be really negative and harmful.
I often find myself comparing myself to others and models that I see all over social media, and you can't go on social media without seeing advertising and seeing a bunch of beautiful skinny women with perfect butts and perfect boobs, and it makes me want to have that stuff too.
Cabrini has a variety of living and learning communities, or LLCs, that help students dive deeper into a certain topic with their peers. Being in the Body Image LLC has impacted the views of body image and social media for students.
Being in the Body Language LLC, I've learned to just love my body and love who I am, just for who I am, and to work on myself and my grades and not worry so much about my image. Definitely, when I look at advertisements, I now know that everything is distorted and not as it is, because it's not the actual achievable body or goal. So that's why I look at it differently on a body image perspective.
Obviously, because celebrities and companies are on social media, it's really no different than magazine ads or things that we're receiving on TV or in the movies. So I think in some ways it can portray really unrealistic standards of beauty, and also I think it can also represent not a strong representation of different body types, races, genders, things like that. I think that comparing ourselves to peers can be just as difficult and just as harmful as comparing ourselves to celebrities. Obviously, when we look at celebrities, often they're photoshopped, they're airbrushed, they have a team of people who are working on their hair and makeup. But I think simultaneously that when we look at our peers, when we take a selfie, let's say, we can take that 500 times in different angles until we think that it is perfect. And then even that we can add filters and we can edit things, certainly not to the degree that a celebrity might, but there's still something about it that isn't quite reality.
Many often forget that celebrities and friends post the best parts of their lives on social media, but there are other parts of their lives that are hidden from the public's view.
Social media is just about being the best you can be and how many likes you can get and how many followers you have. So if you put up a picture and somebody, you go to school with maybe doesn't like it, especially in grade school, they can cyberbully you and just leave mean comments, which can then lead to worse things, like some people even commit suicide from cyberbullying.
That even as a mom, that I can take a photo of my home and it is the one corner of my house that might be perfectly clean, and then the rest of it looks like a disaster, but then everyone thinks, wow, how is she balancing everything and have a clean house? And so that people can be really, feel a lot of pressure to keep up with the Joneses, let's say, or keep up with their friends in a way that's not real.
Today, the millennial generation spends a large portion of their time on social media, constantly seeing images of beautiful yet edited people with hundreds of likes can impact them in a negative way.
Just as a girl in general, when I post a picture, I want to see a lot of likes on it, especially if it's a picture of me, because it would make me feel like people actually like me. So
I also think that it's troubling and difficult for young people to be where they might feel defined by the number of likes or the number of followers, or that there's this sense of that is defining your self-worth. I can see that even with my niece, who is 14, that she'll often be posting things of trying to encourage likes, and it's like, wow, why is she doing that? And it's really, you can see that it's defining how she perceives herself in relation to her peers.
The amount of likes that I get determines how many people actually like me or like the picture or like how I look. So when I post a picture, I want to look cute and presentable, and then see how many people actually like the photo.
Non-professional users like us, right? I think that it's just like a little prize, right? Each time you get a like, your like gives you a little positive charge, right?
If I don't get many likes or comments on a picture, I won't necessarily take it down, but I will feel a certain type of way, like maybe I wasn't, like a sense of me not feeling accepted.
I think that it can totally affect someone's self-esteem, especially when you look, and I see this a lot with the tween and young teenagers, and obviously it can happen at any age, but you can see very quickly how commenting can all of a sudden just evolve into really an argument, or that someone might take a comment the wrong way. You know, I think some people can dismiss social media that it doesn't mean a lot, but it really, really does, especially in the lives of young people who are coming of age.
Many even find themselves editing their photos to maximize the beauty or even hide an imperfection in order to have higher self-esteem.
So I think even just the fact that we have apps to edit ourselves says something, right? So why do we need to edit ourselves? Why can't we just be ourselves? And that there is this pressure that our images need to look as perfect as the images that we see in the media, in magazines, that there's this pressure to edit and to not have reality. And it's like, why can't we just embrace ourselves?
When you edit your own photos and distort your face, it kind of says that, you know, you do have self-esteem issues, and that when you try to get rid of them, you're not accepting who you are as a person and what you look like, and you're not loving your body for what it is.
The effects of body image on social media are not always negative.
That we can think about social media in terms of what do we want to market about ourselves? And I say this a lot to especially young people, middle school students who I work with a lot, thinking about when you look at your social media, what does it say about you? It's not so much about, you know, don't post this on social media, but think about, what do I want to post? What do I want the world to know about me? Do I want them to know that I'm a great athlete? Do I want them to know that I'm a strong dancer? Do I want them to know that I do community service? And that what you put out there in the world can potentially get you a job, that can potentially help you to network, to make new friends.
I think following different blogs and different accounts, it gives me more creative ideas, and it keeps me motivated to work out just because I see other people doing it and I want to do it too.
And then we also see a lot of movements. There's a Dove video where we see a campaign for young people to be putting selfies online as a really positive image. That if we start putting selfies online that are not edited, that maybe are not wearing makeup, that showing who is the real person, the real beauty, that can shift the conversation.